Today, we will learn about the unification process of Germany. Before we get into the learning process and understand how the unification process happened, the major challenges for the unification of Germany are the abolition of the German Confederation, expulsion of Austria from Germany, new adjustment of relation with the princes with a view to persuading them to accept a political unification or unity of Germany. So, the credit goes to Bismarck in unification of Germany. So, the credit has to be given to Bismarck for uniting Germany. Otto von Bismarck. Who is this Bismarck? Let us know about him a little bit. Bismarck was born on 1st of April 1815 in Schoenhofer's family of big landlords. He got educated in a haphazard way in different German universities. He entered the Prussian civil service and turned out with a remark of deficiency in regularity and in discipline. Bismarck was a conservative and was not in favor of liberal constitution which was granted by Frederick William IV to the Prussian people. He was also opposed to unification of Germany on a constitutional basis. Bismarck believed in autocracy and felt glad when Prussian king rejected the crown of Germany and offered to him at the Frankfurt Parliament. He wanted an autocratic government to crush the liberal forces who opposed any plan to make Prussia strong, a military power. Bismarck entered the foreign department of Prussia in 1851. He served his country as an ambassador at Frankfurt, St. Petersburg, and at Paris. In that capacity, he got an opportunity to study the international politics. William I, the King of Prussia, appointed Bismarck as the Prime Minister of Prussia in 1862. He was the man who led his country on the way to unification. Bismarck's policy was based on blood and iron. Speaking about his policy, he once said, put the strongest possible military power, in other words, as much blood and iron as you can, into the hands of King of Prussia. Then he will be able to carry out the policy you wish. It cannot be done with speeches, celebrations, and songs. It can be done by blood and iron. Thus, he came to be known as the man of blood and iron. In a brief spell of 6 years, that is from 1864 to 1870, he had succeeded in achieving the unification of Germany through 3 wars. Bismarck, before taking up the ultimate task of unification of Germany, had to bring order in Germany. During the year 1862, the Parliament rejected the Army Bill, which proposed universal obligation to military service, to raise the annual levy from 40,000 troops to 60,000 troops, and to lengthen the period of service. Thus, a conflict was seen between the king and the parliament. It was under such a situation that Bismarck assumed charges as the prime minister in 1862. The parliament refused to vote the budget. Upon this was the king prorogued the parliament press muzzled. For 4 years, Bismarck stood the strain of this acute political issue. The budget proposals rejected by the lower house were passed by the upper house and were enacted by the king. Taxes were collected, money was spent on the army reorganization. Bismarck well understood that all these excesses and irregularities would be forgiven and forgotten if he succeeded in his mission. His victories rose him to the pinnacle of greatness and made him the national hero. Bismarck, a man of blood and iron, was to become common phrase in the whole of Germany. Let's now move on to understand how did Bismarck unite Germany through 3 wars. At the outset, as one of the most important steps towards carrying out the German unification, Bismarck aimed at isolating Austria and tried to drive out Austria from Germany. The opportunity for Bismarck's diplomacy to this end of gaining friends in the international politics came during the Polish insurrection of 1863. Polish insurrection of 1863. In 1863, Polish people rose against Russia and Napoleon III of France. Well, Napoleon III of France was sympathetic to Polish people. Russia feared Napoleon's interference. Bismarck offered Prussian assistance to Russia and massed Prussian troops on the Polish border. Thus, Russian gratitude and friendship was won over. The Napoleon III protested to Russia over the suppression of Poland and thus shattered Franco-Russian entity. This was a big diplomatic victory to Bismarck, for he had now nothing to fear from Russia in the event with Austria. Now the war with Denmark. Bismarck got the first opportunity to rouse the nationalist feeling of Prussians with opening of the issues of Schleswig and Holstein with Denmark. These 2 states lie to the north of Germany and they were united with Denmark. These duchies had, however, maintained an independent existence for the past 400 years. We need to remember here, they were not part of Germany either from the last 400 years. The Danish National Party wanted these 2 states as integral part of the Kingdom of Denmark. People of Germany wanted these 2 states to come within its fold. Denmark tried to annex these 2 into their state but were opposed by Prussian king. The issue was reopened with the coming of new king to Danish throne. In 1863, the new king incorporated the 2 duchies through a new constitution. For Bismarck, this provided an opportunity to campaign the cause of German unity. Bismarck asked Austria for help, and the combined forces of Austria and Prussia defeated Denmark, and the 2 duchies were entrusted to the care of Austria and Prussia. In August 1865, Austria was given control over Holstein and Prussia was given to administer Schleswig. Austro-Prussian War. Bismarck now carefully and skillfully worked towards a war between Prussia and Austria. He wanted the Prussia that should win in the war. He wanted Austria to be alone and without friends. He had already won Russia's friendship. He made friendship with Napoleon of France and requested him for a neutrality in the case of Prussian war with Austria. In return for this, Bismarck promised France that they would accept for the expansion of French towards Rhine. He also won the Italian support to give Venetia to Italians in case of Prussian victory over Austria. When Austria brought Schleswig and Holstein question before the German Diet, Bismarck objected for the Austrian move and called it a breach of trust by Austria and moved Prussian forces into Holstein. Austria's jurisdiction. Austria regarded Prussia as the aggressor and asked the Federal Diet to send federal forces against Prussia. War broke out on 3rd July 1866 and Austria was defeated in the hands of Prussia. Austria had to now withdraw back. Austrian troops of about 150,000 were sent to defend Venetia against Italians. Thus, with the army divided, Austria was defeated at Sadova and Prussians marched towards Venetia. Bismarck did not want to lose the fruits of victory, and at the same time he was in a haste to patch up with Austria. Thus, very lenient terms were offered to Austria. Austria was made to quit Germany and pay war indemnity. Schleswig, Holstein, Hanover, Hesse-Kassel, and parts of Hesse-Darmstadt, the city of Frankfurt, were annexed by Prussia. The southern states, Bavaria, Baden, Württemberg, Hesse-Darmstadt, retained their independence, and these states were afraid of Napoleon III of France, who wanted to expand towards Rhine. Out of this fear, they signed a military alliance with Prussia and gave up the control of the armed forces to Prussia. Franco-Prussian War, the final stage for the unification of Germany. Napoleon III, the ruler of France, found his position weakened. He failed to prevent Russia from suppressing the Polish uprising in 1863. The Mexican disaster had lost his prestige at home and outside. He failed to take advantage of Austro-Prussian War. In order to save his face, Napoleon III began to demand compensation of his neutrality in the Austro-Prussian War. Bismarck gave a vague promise to Napoleon III of his permission to expand towards Rhine, but Bismarck was not willing to offer any compensation to France. There was now the only course open for Napoleon III, and it was war. Bismarck also wanted war with France, for France had some influence in South Germany, and France claimed the southern states of Germany namely Belgium, Luxembourg, and Palatine, with the claims of France over the German states, Bismarck thought that France would not accept and tolerate the German unification. Hence, Bismarck wanted a war with France. Thus, we find both France and Prussia were bent upon war. The government also were working towards it. The immediate cause for the war was found in Spanish succession. In 1863, the Spanish king, the Spanish people, being fed with the ruler Isabella, removed her from throne and offered it to Leopold, who was a very close relative to the Prussian king, for which French raised serious objection. On account of this, Leopold declined the offer, but Napoleon III, not satisfied with this, wanted to get a promise from the Prussian king that he would not interfere in the Spanish succession affair. The Prussian king rejected the wish of Napoleon III and sent the whole message to a telegram from the city of Ems to Bismarck, who was stationed at Berlin. The content of this telegram was manipulated by Bismarck in such a way that it would create hatred between the people of Prussia and France against each other. This resulted in a war between France and Prussia. War was declared by France on Prussia on 19th July 1870, and that it lasted for 6 months. Bismarck succeeded in rousing the national feelings among all the Germans. In spite of several differences with Bismarck, southern states joined their hands with Prussia. Prussian forces defeated French forces, and Napoleon III, having been terribly routed in several battles, surrendered to Prussians with about 1 lakh soldiers. Victorious Prussians marched right into the French capital, Paris, and declared the emergence of a united Germany and coronated William I as the first united German emperor. The Franco-Prussian War ended with the signing of the Treaty of Frankfurt. The treaty gave Alsace and Lorraine to Germany, and thus the unification of Germany was accomplished by 1871 by Otto von Bismarck. Thus, the unification of Germany was accomplished by 1871 in a span of 7 years through 3 wars. The man behind the victory of unification process is Otto von Bismarck with his policy of blood and iron.